Hey, it's Tori, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very special guest here on the channel. We have Marco, the founding member and guitarist of Xandria. How are you doing today, Marco?
Fine, thank you. It's great to be there with you in your channel, Tori. Really nice for having me. Thank you for having me there.
Thank you for taking the time out and just being here because I know you are busy getting ready to release your album. It's not long now until February 3rd. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'm starting to get excited a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, in the sense of, I feel it being quite close, and as we also have one or two shows planned around the time, it's coming a lot of things together, and I'm just excited to see how people will react to everything.
Yeah, and that leads me on to my first question for you is, of
Mm.
course, the band has taken about a 5-year hiatus, and I was just wondering how because obviously you've got a brand new lineup. There's only yourself really left from the old lineup,
Mm.
and I was just wondering how that all came about. Like how many years ago did you guys like come together and decide you wanted to continue on with Xandria and bring out a new album?
Mhm. Yeah, there were quite a few things happening in those last years, and especially in that time when we all have been literally being locked up at home.
Hmm.
Um, and you get to think, and this is also why we were taking a break with the band before anyway, because we wanted to just, um, yeah, just be ourselves a little bit,
Hmm.
coming back to, um, um, yeah, just having a little bit peace from everything, and thinking about what to do in the future. And so that was just at the time, and then the pandemic hit us all, and then we had even more time to think about everything and just sit at home and um, wondering what to do with our lives. And yeah, one thing um, that was happening at the time is that me and the uh, remaining members of the band were deciding to go different
Hmm.
paths in the future, but we did so in friendship, so there's no hard feelings or fight behind this. It's just that we were developing in different directions. And I felt that with the new ideas I was starting to have for new songs, for new music, I needed some kind of fresh start also. And so I was looking for new musicians, and I knew already because we were working on some other project together already, uh, which was right at the time when I was starting having new ideas for Xandria. So uh, it was a little bit like counting one plus one together at that time. It came a bit naturally almost because I had her voice on
Hmm.
my mind at that time, and I had my own songs that I started to write, and somehow it came together, and it was just what I was looking for because I wanted this a voice that is really touching, that can
Yeah.
really emotionally um, capture you, to
Yeah.
speak directly to you. And this I really love about her voice. And of course, you also mentioned it in your reactions. Yes,
Hmm.
yes, I watched them. um, Thank you very much for your kind words um, that you were, yeah, like really giving us a lot there. And
Yeah.
also, I should tell you from Alma that she's also like really appreciating what you said,
Yeah.
and that she is very sorry. That I want to
Oh.
say that she is so diverse with her voice. This is something amazing. This is something that I was thinking about already when on the last album we had this uh, guest appearance of Björn from Soulwork,
Hmm.
now also known to a lot of people for Night Flight Orchestra, which I really love. And just a recommendation on the site. But I
Yeah.
think everyone knows them
Yeah, well,
by
that's
now.
the previous album, actually. Theater of Dimensions is the album that got me into you guys. And so,
Mm.
just a little bit of like funny tidbit information is about me is when that album came out, we just previously moved into a new house and I was getting ready to decorate my bathroom. And so I had that album on replay the whole time I was decorating my bathroom. So it helped me paint, because of course, painting can get very mundane. So yeah, the storytelling you guys have in your songs is something else. And going back to Amber's voice, that is also something else I was interested in is how you picked her out to be the vocalist.
Sorry?
How did you come to pick Amber to be the vocalist? Is she somebody that you knew
Yeah,
previously, or did she like what's the word?
yeah, sure. I mean, I was just a little bit surprised because I think I kind of answered the question before when I told you that we were working on some other project together.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry, I thought
yeah,
you were
yeah.
talking about a different band member. I apologize. I
No,
didn't
no, no,
realize
no,
you
no,
were
no.
talking about Amber.
No, no, I
That's
was,
me. That's crossed
yes,
wires.
yes. All fine. Yeah, I was talking about Almo. We were
Oh,
working
okay.
on some other songs for a different thing, and
Oh, okay.
so so I had her voice already running in my mind, you know. And
Yeah.
then when I was writing the first new songs for Xandria, I was thinking, hey, this is actually what I'm looking for.
Right.
So it just came together at that time.
Yeah.
Um, with
Because
all
like
the diversity, like having Björn on Murders on the last album with the growls, and I was already thinking, hey, this is something I always liked. I want to have that too in the future. And it's a
mhm.
bit difficult to each time just get someone for doing guest vocals, and it's just so much better to have your main singer just being able to do that too. And not only that, she can also do the classical vocals.
Yes.
So we can play the old songs live and they will sound the right way. And also on the new songs, we incorporated that here and there. You notice that, like in the Reborn song,
Mhm.
which was the first sign of life of us for a long time. It was kind of a plan behind the choice of this song also to show that she can do these different things with her voice. Like there's this little part in there in which she sings operatic. There's this little part in which she growls just a little bit. We wanted to see the reactions of people. We were very excited to see that.
Yeah, and I can 100% see why you did choose Reborn. Also, just behind the lyrics behind it as well, because it is like Xandria is being reborn, of course, with the new members and
Yeah.
the newer sound. And yeah, like you said, you saw my reaction. I think a lot of us weren't expecting growls at all, and it just kind of it threw me off, but in a really positive way. I was like, growls? We're getting growls in Xandria? I was like, oh my goodness. And it just made me super, super excited to see how else you were going to incorporate those in, other singles that you were going to be bringing out.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, there's some more of this coming. And I mean we already have 3 more singles out, and there's even one more coming just 2, 3 days before the album will be actually out. This is to just put one more focus on the album release
mhm.
and also to show something extra on top of the 4 singles. It will be the epic album opener, which is like 7 minutes long,
Oh, wow.
and there will be a lot of things going on in that song. It's really like having a lot of different parts and like a soundtrack. It's
Hmm.
like a journey. Um, so I'm really excited to see how people will react to that one then. So we are just working on the video right now so we can release it in a little bit more than a week. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, what did I want to say? It was about the 3 more singles that we were releasing so far after Reborn. that they, I think, already show a little bit of the diversity. I think this is the word that will come up a lot about the new album. It's very diverse. There's a lot of different things going on. Like each sound stands a bit on its own, and this is a bit for us a jewel on its own, like with its own story and its own background of, oh, you want to do a little bit more of a prog 70s thing here. Let's see what people think about that, because this is something that you didn't hear too often in Xandria before. One song is sounding a little bit like a James Bond title track. And in other songs, we were putting in some little spices, like things that were not necessarily something people would expect, but I think they fit very well. I'm a big fan of a lot of different kinds of metal, so I always love to put everything together and yeah, and even enrich it with more things like the Oriental instruments that you hear in the Asteria, it's a 9-minute album finale, so to say. And then we have some Celtic instruments again, and we have the biggest choir that we ever had on a recording. This is all very exciting things for us, and I hope also for the people who will listen to it. We are
Yeah.
very anxious
Excuse me.
to see.
Yeah, and I mean, I am extremely excited. I cannot wait to hear the album in full. Excuse me, sorry. And like you said, it is very diverse, and each single has been slightly different, yet still remaining Xandria,
Mhm.
and it just I'm so very excited. I cannot wait to hear what other surprises you have on the album. And just when you do release that new single, of course, I will be doing a reaction to it. And as you said, it's a 7-minute song, and you said it's kind of like you're going on a journey, and I absolutely love that with songs. And I love when bands like yourself, you genre bend, and you take inspiration from all kinds of places and you put it all together. And it really, really works for me, because I mean, symphonic metal for me in general is my absolute favorite. So I can't wait. And I know you guys are getting ready to do like a European tour. Do you have any plans to come over to the States at all?
We would really love to. There's not an actual planning happening for that right now, but we hope we have it on our list, of course, that's for sure. Because the two tours that we did in the past, they were so amazing, and I really love the country. So yes, I hope this is happening pretty soon. I cannot really tell when now, but yeah, as soon as we start planning something and we can reveal something, we will.
Yeah, well, I hope it's soon, because I've never seen you guys live, and I would absolutely love to. And hopefully, like, if you guys do, I don't know if you offer VIP packages, but I would absolutely love to meet you guys, in real life, and connect that way, because it is cool doing, these video chats and these interviews this way, but it's another thing to be there in person, and having that one-on-one conversation that way, and just connecting over really great
Yeah,
music and things like that. Um, that's
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And another question I had was, where do you pull your inspiration from?
Yeah, that's a lot of different things. Sometimes it just comes out of nothing. Like you said, you were like renovating your home. I was also moving homes like 3 years ago,
Hmm.
and I had the same thing. I was working on so many things. I was redoing a lot. I was like pulling everything apart and putting it together with new stuff, like
Hmm.
the whole shebang. And I was months working on that. And it was just when I was doing some things, I was listening to music a lot. And sometimes I was just having an idea when I was just, I don't know, like putting together like the wardrobe for the bedroom or something. And thinking, okay, I got to interrupt what I'm doing right here because I need to go to the studio and record something so I won't forget it. And this was, it comes just when I don't expect it. It's not that I sit down and plan, okay, I need to write a new album and I want it to sound like this. Um, I can have a certain intention, like, okay, I want to do a few more of these things in the future songs. And then when I try to, or when I'm having ideas, I'm trying to pick the ones that are kind of yeah, fulfilling that. But especially for this album, it was more like things were just coming to me out of nowhere, and I was just picking them and trying to make each of them blossom, and in the end, put them all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was what you call naturally coming together, like just yeah, having these ideas
Yeah.
wherever I am, like either being at home or also in a car. It often happens, and that's yeah. And then it's a bit difficult to record something while you're driving. I often have to stop then or wait for a red light.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it was
with
just.
lyrics, with lyrics, it's a bit different. With lyrics, I'm actually really sitting down and I'm trying to get those things that have been on my mind in the last time
Mm-hmm.
and are on my mind right now. And uh, yeah, you have already touched the topic also in the "You Will Never Be Our God" reaction video, that there are some topics that are yeah quite present
Mm-hmm.
for people who are interested in what's going on in the world, and sometimes they really scare me.
Yeah.
Like it was not just the pandemic, but also the things that were coming to the surface throughout that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I also, Alma, not just me, we were both writing lyrics about these kind of topics. There are quite a few more like this on the album.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that you mentioned The Handmaid's Tale in that reaction video,
Yeah.
because I actually was writing the lyrics for one song really about that. The song
Oh.
is called "The Maiden and the Child."
Oh.
So when you know it, it's obvious, of course, and
Yeah.
when you read the lyrics, then you will really know what I mean by that.
Yeah. Well, I'm
So
definitely interested to hear that one now. Now that you've said that, and like you said, it is the world right now. It is very scary, and but it's also important to bring those issues to light and do it through the avenue of music, because I think it puts a little bit of a dampener on it. It makes it easier for people to ingest it rather than just sitting in front of the news all the time. And it can be overwhelming. But I think if you put it to music and you have the right lyrics for it, I think it helps people ingest, and it helps make them more aware of what is happening also.
yeah, yeah, I can really say that I could not have been writing the lyrics for this album without touching these kind of topics because they are just so present, and I just need
Mm-hmm.
to write about what's on my mind. Um, I know there are sometimes people who say like you got to keep politics out of art, but I strongly disagree with that actually because film, series, they are also art, and you find it there a lot in the last years.
Mm-hmm.
Like even where you maybe not expect it, you find those hints. You can really see that the people who are making it
Mm-hmm.
are trying to tell us something through symbolism, through little lines in the stories. And this is something that shows you that many people are concerned about things going on in the world. And I just could not leave it out. It's not possible. Um,
Right.
yeah, but there are also some quite personal topics in some of the songs that have nothing to do with the outside,
Mm-hmm.
really. Although everything is, of course, connected some way. But yeah, it's not a concept album.
Right, right. And I think
Mm.
it's important to be able to write what you are passionate about, whether that is it's something that's personal, whether that's something that you see that is happening in real life. Because I think if you don't write something that's coming from the heart, I think it's going to fall flat, and I don't think people are going to connect with it. And you want people to connect with your music, and you know, all of the 4 singles that you've had out so far, I have been able to connect with, and I think it's wonderful that you can do that.
It's really great to hear. It's one thing to do what's on your heart and
Mm-hmm.
get it out, but to know that people can connect to that too, then this is really a great thing. It's yeah, giving you that energy also
Mm-hmm.
to move on, to I mean to go further and to go out doing concerts and connect even more with the people. This is this is something that makes people come together, and I'm so happy that we finally can do that again. Like the 2 years of the pandemic, I mean, there were much more terrible things happening. I mean, many people lost their lives, lost members of their families, lost friends. Even people
Mm-hmm.
that I know had these kind of bad experiences. And for us others, it was like just not being able to go on concerts or play live. But this was already a huge thing. And being on tour in Europe last fall was so wonderful to see all those faces again. We saw a lot of familiar faces, like people that I haven't seen there in the front rows, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for years. And sometimes I was just after the concert, I was just going there and hugged them, you
Yeah.
know, because I was just so happy to see them. I
Yeah.
was glad they went through it, you know, they are back and they are healthy and they made it. That was really a good feeling.
Yeah. And I that's something that I have been thinking about a lot, is because obviously I am big into the music scene myself, with doing reactions, and obviously, you know, I do have my favorite bands, and just seeing them go through the pandemic, and not being able to do what they are passionate about, and their, their
Mhm.
everyday work life of touring. And finally, you know, there's been so much amazing music that's been released since the middle of last year all the way through to now, because, you know, bands like yourself have been able to take that time out and really concentrate and write new things. And it's just been really amazing to
Yeah.
see. You know, of course, the pandemic was awful, and, you know, like you said, many people lost lives or lost family members or loved ones. But then you also have to look at the positive side of it. And for bands, you know, it has been that you've been able to take that time and to refresh and to bring out new music.
That's right. Yeah, because you need some time for it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think especially in the beginning when a band is starting, you're full of energy, and sometimes bands release albums like 3 albums in a row, like
Mm-hmm.
each year when new one comes out. It's not like you lose your ideas after that, but it's also that you go more on tour and you need a little bit to settle down again
Mm-hmm.
at home to just get some energy back, like recharge your batteries a bit and just
Mm-hmm.
be yourself. Like for me, that's really important. Like writing music for me is being on my own, being a little bit in solitude, actually, like in my own universe, and just floating in there and just catching everything that comes to my mind and making it into music. But I need this time on my own, like being peaceful and um, yeah. If it's stressful, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Actually, you often hear that cliche that bad times or in your life can inspire you to make music. It's for me, it can be inspiring to write about in lyrics, but actually, like musical ideas come to me more when I'm feeling well, when I'm feeling yeah, when I'm feeling quite happy in my life, when I'm excited, when I'm having positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is important. And of course, as we all had to sit down at home for quite some time, I had time to gather ideas. I had time to listen to music, to watch movies that I love, and
Mm-hmm.
as I'm a big film score fan, so this was
Me
giving me
too.
inspiration, of course. Yeah, this is so great. It's it's uh, it's like the modern classical music, actually.
Yeah.
It's and it transports so much feelings, and I love how film scores are so different, also in the elements they use, and all of that. I had quite a lot of time to gather all of that, and that's also why the new album is sounding so diverse, because there was a lot that I could just yeah, a lot that I wanted to do and to explore myself.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely hear that. It feels like this album is grander in a way, in the way of like with the choirs and the more symphonic orchestral elements, compared to obviously previous albums. And like I can feel that you've taken inspiration from film scores or from like orchestral things, and it made me really happy because I absolutely love choirs and orchestral scores and things like that. But then you add it into metal or rock music, and it just really boosts it up for me, and it just is
Mm.
something special.
Yeah, because both is just so powerful. Metal has a lot
Yeah.
of power, and orchestrations and choir or AKA film scores have so much power. And if you put those two together, it's like an explosion.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely love it too. When I first discovered that this type of music existed, I was like, oh my goodness, like, what is this? And then, of course, I had to go out and find as many bands as I could that like sounded the same. And yeah,
Mhm.
I think I am gonna wrap this up, but I appreciate you so much for taking the time. And the new album is out the 3rd of February. It's not long now. Of course, guys, I am going to leave Xandria's social media pages and their YouTube channel linked down in the description, along with the pre-sale of the album link also down in the description. So if you do want to, obviously buy that, you can go ahead and do so. Do you have any last words you want to say to your fans or to my subscribers?
Yeah, I want to thank you and all your subscribers, and also every new people that are coming there, maybe because they saw our name, and which is always something great if things come together that way,
Mm-hmm.
because it just makes people discover new music, discover
Yes.
new things. And this I really love. So thanks for your support for doing this thing. And yeah, and also to all you people out there. I'm really thankful for your support.
Well, I'm extremely thankful for you and for your music and for the band. And I can't wait to come and see you guys live. Hopefully that will be soon. But thank you so very much, Marco, for taking the time. And I cannot wait for the new single either.
Thank you too. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. See you next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to become a Taurian. Speaking of becoming a Taurian, all of my social media links and my Discord link are down in the description. We'd absolutely love to have you come hang out in the Discord community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on.